I'll do a few songs today while I got the opportunity. I want to freestyle, but the issue is all my best freestyles come when I'm not recording. For some reason, I know I'm recording. It ain't the same. I know that's a weird statement to make, but it's a true statement. Anybody got like an overnight job? This ain't no overnight job, but I do overnight stuff. The secret is everybody who work overnight fall asleep. It's not a secret. No matter who it is, what position they in, if they work overnight, they fall asleep. I guarantee it. Because most people don't get no rest during the day anyway. Most people say, man, I can't sleep during the day. My body's not programmed. You gotta reprogram yourself. If you work overnight. Oh, shit. This is the iPhone. I don't think I brought the right cord. But you know what? I can sit over. No. I have to use the one from downstairs. It's a regular USB. Onto USB. Nah, that's fine. I'm not about to do this right now anyways. Put anything in. Go through this crap. Let's talk about it. I'll be back. Oh shit. I need it. Oh no, I got it. I said I have my key. Alright, let's get some coffee. Kick this bitch off. Don't know where that's from. That's from. Anybody else wash cups when they, even when they brand new? Or is it just me? I don't know, man. I gotta wash the cup and the lid. I usually don't take lids from the top either, but or anything from the top. Like when they come to cups, I'll try to get like the second or third one. I don't know. Maybe less superstitious. Who knows? What's that? Black tea is, this is hydrating as water. Okay. Let's see. I always get French roast. I guess I get French roast. Oui. All right. What else? But I don't drink sodas like that. What is that? Fruit made just for you. Oh, thank you. Yes, I washed the straw too. Who else is at work right now? Am I the only nigga at work? Some bullshit. I'm tired of this shit. I don't know, man. I kind of like these early morning shits. Especially when you ain't gotta deal with nobody. I don't know, man. I'm good with people, but I don't mind not dealing with people. If that makes sense. I learned that working overnight, because overnight, you're basically just watching like equipment and shit like that. Well, when I was doing that type of work, working at hotels and shit like that. Just keeping an eye on shit. Low key, what they don't tell you though is I'm really watching the workers, which is crazy. But that's the truth. Because if something go missing, who the fuck stole it? Exactly. Exactly. It's kind of fucked up though. But at this job, I'm just babysitting a building. I gotta do some fire watches and stuff like that. Kind of like in my other job. When I be in the golf cart. I'm just basically keeping an eye on shit. Some shit jump off. Show them my other glasses. Hold on. What's the guy that murdered that teenager in the neighborhood? He was a security guard. I got a picture of him on my phone because he used to work here. But this way he used to work in this little thing called a fishbowl. He was an IT. He worked right up in here. Matter of fact, let's go in there. But anybody can think of his name? Not that it matters. So this nigga worked up in here. Up in this little area. They call it the fishbowl. Because essentially it's glass on the outside and people can see you from the outside and shit. So it's like you're in a fishbowl, I guess. I don't know if that's the logic behind it. I'm just saying what the fuck I think. Let's get out of the fishbowl, yeah. Okay. Let's see what this look like. IT. On a fucking computer. What's it? I think these are laptops and shit like that. No, those are some with computers. I don't fucking know. This ain't my wheelhouse, y'all. This ain't my wheelhouse, yo. Can I cut my light on? Damn, okay. So yeah. So this is IT shit. This is where they work on all the goddamn um, computers and shit. As you can see, these motherfuckers stay busy. We on the 3rd floor. They gotta fix all these shits. They be on that shit though. They stay working like 24 hours. Well, not 24 hours, I'm lying. But when they working, they working. That's a little IT department. And I'm about to slide up out of, you know. Come on, computer. I mean, fucking printer. Alright, let's keep it moving. Is my light still on? Let's try to cut that light off. Okay. My battery dying soon, you know, so. That's what I like about some of these doors. When you hear it click, you ain't even gotta turn the handle. You just use your free foot and kick that motherfucker. So let's go to the 3rd floor. Counselor. What are these? My Cole Haan. Got my Cole Haans on today. Only because they comfortable though. And because I forgot to grab my tennis shoes. Well, normally I would have had my fucking tennis shoes on. Let's see. Go over here. These is what a common folk work. I can't go up all of their space, y'all. Y'all be looking at all of this shit. That's why I'm just kind of sliding through. But what I will be doing is making a pit stop to see who has candy. You got any candy, Randy? Some bullshit over here. Those are Jolly Ranchers. I'll be back. Okay, I figure if you decorating and shit, you definitely got some chocolates. You don't just be throwing up all this extra shit for no reason. Somebody ate all that. Hello, late. No candy? No candy. Well, this candy shit up, empty. Got 2 fucking Jolly Rancher suckers. You can't even eat a suck in public no more. Got to break your nana up. I smell popcorn. Skittles and some Airheads. Some bullshit. I don't think no candy today. My bad, y'all. Was texting somebody to grab something from the house. I need a haircut, huh? To be honest, like every time I shave, only thing I don't like is it's like I gotta start all over. Then I meet somebody with a big ass beard. It made me feel some type of way right after I get my shit chopped off. Like I ain't trying. This what a common folk, the common folk. This what the workers work at. And the executives upstairs. But I only came down here because I thought they had some Halloween candy and shit like that. I don't see nothing, so I'm about to slide out. What up? Put on my comfortable work shoes today. I forgot to change socks though. So I might have the white socks on. That's cool. As long as they clean. What's that? Hold on. So cool. You know what's the guy name that they killed that security guard that killed that black teenager like some years ago? Like in the community and shit like that. He was out walking or some shit like that. Trayvon Martin, right? What's the white guy name who killed him? Cause he used to work in here. It's called like the Fishbowl. It's just a little section at my job. But he used to work right up in here. Cause when I first started working here back in 20 around 2020, 2021. Zimmerman, yeah. Cause I got this picture in my phone. I looked him up. He was in like they never take your pictures out of the system when you work here. But yeah, he used to work in there. So he was like doing mortgages and shit like that. I think that's what they do. I don't even know. I just work here. See? The Fishbowl. He specifically worked in this section up here on this is the executive floor actually. So I don't know, maybe he had a little position. He wasn't an IT guy, but he was I guess like I said, he sold mortgages and shit like that. It's Sunday, nobody gonna show up today. I can almost guarantee it. I hope it rains today. You doing any recording today? I gotta motivate myself. Cause this gonna be probably one of the few days I had a chance to do something, so I'm gonna take some stuff I wrote. I was writing during the week, probably record that. Try to record a whole song, but I don't know. But I definitely want to do a few of them so I can post some stuff. Well, yeah, I know it's early right now. I don't think nobody up. It recorded anything. But probably around like I don't know, probably in a couple hours. I'm probably just gonna start writing. This sad, but this is I gotta go through this and find something. Yeah. Usually I'd be in a notebook, but over the days I just been writing on random shit. Then I gotta go find a cord to hook up to the computer so I can hook it up to this little sound shit so I can record. Because that's what I grew up off of. Like all the artists I really like, they always talking about something. Like all of them. So, you know. You stupid. He said Freddie or Jason. Can you hear me now? I think I'm putting my hand over the volume, where the volume goes in at, where I'm supposed to talk in. Just by the way I'm holding my phone, but he said Freddie or Jason. Nah, it's like I said, I like it quiet here. The cool thing about this job right here, I started during the pandemic, so it wasn't nobody here. Now, if I do work during the day, It's a ton of people here. But on the weekend, people tend not to come to their job. Unless they got to. Like they got to pick up something, they left something behind, but nobody really comes to the job on Sunday. Every now and again, somebody will pop up with like maybe a couple of their family members or something, maybe give them a tour, but not really. This is literally the definition of babysitting the building. Now, they do got security that works here, another company, but they strictly watch the building. Like, I don't care about all these spots down here. I only care about this office over here and those 2 floors upstairs. And they security don't even work on Sundays. They office security. So we the only ones here on Sunday. And my girl, she worked most of the time because a lot of times I'm at work on the weekend. So she'll be in here. But she got to do something today, so I'm going to hold it down. Take a little walk. The most decent thing about working over here is this right here, this little lake. It don't be no, well, every now and again a few people come over here and try to violate and fish and shit like that. Which personally I don't give a fuck. Like, it's not my job to stop them, but it really don't be nobody out here like that. So this is nice. This is how I used to write some of my songs back in the day. I would go by, like, especially in Georgia, where I lived, that we had a lake too. So I would just go out there and sit by the water and just write. Get back to nature. That's it. Alligators and snakes in this area. Do not feed the wildlife. You got any pets? Dogs, I imagine. Since I moved to Florida, the funny thing is I started, where I live at, it's a bunch of stray cats and shit. And every year, a new stray cat will show up. I done raised about took care of 3 cats in the past, and I'm taking care of 1 right now. The other 3, they passed away. But there'll be a lot of cats and shit like that out here in Florida. Yeah. See, everybody got dogs. Like, that's, especially coming from Georgia, that's all I ain't never seen them for, I don't even remember seeing cats when I was young. I only saw dogs, which is crazy. But I think the reason I like cats, because they sophisticated. Like, one thing about a dog is you feed that motherfucker, it's your best friend. With cats and shit, you got to sit there and earn their trust. Especially a stray cat. That shit take about like 2 weeks. So you gotta sit there and fight for their affection. That's just crazy. But I don't know. They supposed to like kill the mice and shit. That's what they say. But the motherfucker I got right now, that nigga don't kill nothing. That nigga just eat. He big as hell too. But I don't mind. I like doing it. Started feeding squirrels and shit like that. Yeah, I know cats, that's why I like it though. It's like, shit, when I used to, the same thing with women, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like a little challenge sometimes. So I ain't mind. But I don't know, I kind of like cats. They just cool as fuck. Like a cat, like if it's a bunch of shit in the way, a cat will run through it and won't touch shit. He'll maneuver, like he or she'll maneuver their way through and not knock anything over. Dog do the same thing. He knocking everything over. Dogs be clumsy as shit. Cats, they be smooth as a motherfucker. But don't get it twisted. Only house cats. Like when motherfuckers start trying to raise tigers and shit, and then they get confused, like somebody just got killed recently by a tiger that nigga raised since birth. And they found out that it wasn't even like an attack. It was like an accident. Like the motherfucker swiped at him and cut his throat. See, that's crazy. Because when you know how cats are, you know what I'm saying? You don't want a motherfucker bigger than you. 500 pounds. That's crazy as fuck. Because it could be an accident. Y'all could, like, cats like to play and shit. So imagine a 500-pound cat trying to goddamn play with you with his teeth and his claws and shit. You're going to end up slicing a vein or some shit. But yeah, house cats are cool. Plus, I had one cat. He died like a mysterious death. Found him under the house and shit. But this nigga was like, I remember a cat jumped on the fence one time. Like he was about to come into the yard. Soon as he saw the motherfucking cat jump on the fence, that nigga took off straight toward that cat. He jumped over the fence where the cat was, whooped his ass, and then came back. That was my nigga Thomas. He was a different breed of a cat. The one I got right now, he just like to eat and chill. That nigga don't even fuck with lizards. I gotta go back in this bitch. My phone about to die. Yeah, Thomas was no. Listen, man. Thomas was a motherfucking. Well, the funny thing about Thomas is he came around when he was not a kitten, but like a teenager. Cause I got videos of him and shit when I first started feeding him. Man, the nigga, like cats do, they so independent. Dipped out. Came back when he was an adult. So we already had like a little connection and shit. But Thomas, you know, like different personalities with these cats. And even though the one I got right now, Nathaniel, he an orange cat, and people think they like rowdy and shit like that. He the exact opposite. That nigga's Garfield. He just want to eat and get rubbed, and that's about it. And he a stray cat. But the thing about him though, when I first met him, especially, he was into jumping and shit like that. Real nervous and shit. But he kind of got out of that. But I guess eventually I'm gonna get a dog. But the thing I like about these stray cats is these motherfuckers got their own lives. I mean, technically he do live there because the motherfucker there all the time. But at nighttime he could dip out and go do whatever he wants. And then come. And that nigga do come back every time. Yeah, see, Heathcliff, shit. I think I like Heathcliff better, to be honest. Cause the difference between Garfield and Heathcliff, like Heathcliff was like street smart. I think that nigga was selling drugs or something, or catnip. I think Heathcliff had like a whole gang too, didn't he? He had like a few niggas that hung out with him and put in work. Yeah, Garfield was bougie. Garfield was, I don't know. He ain't had no hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like Heathcliff was a hustler. Like I said, he was in the street. He was in the streets, but I think the difference is Garfield was housebroken. That nigga became a house cat, and Heathcliff he was still a stray cat. I think that's the difference, probably between the two. It's funny you mentioned that they had a whole some shit on YouTube about that shit with the Heathcliff and the Garfield. I had a couple female cats too. Both of them died though. One of them she was old as fuck, Rosie, but you know she wanted to be fucked with. She was cool. And then I had one Thea. Actually, Thea and Nathaniel made it, but she never got. She was pregnant before that. I think he was too young. I think he like a teenager. But Thea, she had are they cousins? I didn't know that. Garfield and Heathcliff were cousins. I don't know. I think back then they was more creative with cartoons, but they was very competitive. That's why you got a lot of these similar characters. Once they saw something that worked, you know what I'm saying, they kind of roll with it again. Same thing happened today too. Actually got worse. And what I'm saying about the duplicating thing, really that was like in comic books and shit like that. I come to find that out. That every time Marvel came out with like a character, they got like a DC version of that character. Like every character that Marvel got is a fucking similar character. And then in music, that's what music became. It used to be a time where you was an individual when you stood out, you know what I'm saying? And it was disrespectful if a nigga tried to duplicate what you was doing. And then it became a time where whatever was working is what they wanted. I gotta go back and look that up. Oh yeah. I gotta look that up. Matter of fact. I might do a Heathcliff song, like a rap. Maybe not using his name and shit, but just have him like as the cover art. So what you got planned today? So cool. Yeah, that's important, dog. Gotta keep that yard looking tidy, nice. I gotta check out. I know you got a podcast. Is it you consider it a podcast? What part of Georgia? I don't know if I asked you that before. Oh yeah, okay. I stayed in Atlanta for a little bit. I used to work at LA Fitness over there off Cobb Parkway, Acres Mill Road. Was it Acres Mill? Yeah, but Cumberland Mall. I don't know if it changed any. I was over there at LA Fitness when it was still a small club before everything became like the real big clubs, the super clubs. We still had one small club left, and that was the one over there on Acres Mill. And then when we became a big club, I became assistant manager and shit. I remember I first started working at LA Fitness. I ain't even know nothing about working out. I used to just read the machine and shit. But what I learned about it, because I ended up going sales later, it was really just, I was doing sales, but you just really, you know what I'm saying? Sales, you didn't have to know what the fuck you was talking about. You just had to sound good saying it. And if people like you, you know what I'm saying? Like some of them will get memberships, and when they come to work out, it'll be a social thing too. Like they want to come talk to you and, chop it up and shit like that. Crowded here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you know what's funny, man? Like when I left, I remember being in Atlanta before it was everything else. I tell people this all the time. Cause little 5 points and shit. Little 5 points. No, no, 5 points, the downtown area and shit. I just remember seeing it change so much. I remember when it was just nothing but people from Georgia and Atlanta. Cause I'm from Columbus, went to Macon, then went to Atlanta. But I started seeing the change, all the New Yorkers and stuff start coming in. But it really changed, I believe, for Atlanta when what's the name opened up that studio out there, Tyler Perry, because then people had another place to go to make movies, and then music became what it was. I was in Atlanta like when music was like when we had it in a chokehold. Like I remember seeing Ludacris at the club. What's some boy's name? Phil Mob. When all them was making music, when niggas was getting beat up in the club because of Lil Jon. I used to be downtown. What is it? What the fuck? I was about to say Linux, but not in the mall. I can't even think. What's that little rich area? Where all the clubs and shit. I can't even think. Yeah, man. I remember. Listen, I went to '96. Was it 90? No, I went to the '98. I believe. Whatever the last official like Freaknik was. I was there in Atlanta. I was young, but I was there. I was there when we went to the Super Bowl with the other team, not Mike Vick, with Jamal Lewis and all them. Centennial Olympic Park, remember all that stuff. I stayed in Bankhead too. I stayed in DeKalb County. What did I stay in Bankhead? In the hood. I worked at a hood ass McDonald's in Bankhead. Buckhead, yep. Went to Buckhead, but I lived in Bankhead at one point. Yeah, freak nigga. It died out a little bit. It was dying out around that time. It wasn't a lot of shit allowed. But like I said, I was young, bro. Yeah, man. I was in Atlanta for a long time. When I was 17 and a half, I got in a fight at a group home. I got locked up for 3 weeks. My bad. Phone died.